I claim the label Latinx because it's sort of what I've come to know as it's like inclusive rebellion to me. That's what that word means, because it's kind of deconstructing the fact that there's this gendered language, and the X at the end is something that I spent some time in Barcelona, and at the time, other people that I was connecting with who were very trying to be inclusive and like deconstructing gender identity and things, they were using the @ symbol at the time. So, but there's no pronunciation for that. And so it was a few years after that that I started seeing Latinx, and so I feel like that encompasses a lot of what I'm trying to discover about myself. And my grandfather is an amazing historian, and so he tells me these stories, and I try to absorb them, and most of them just fall by the wayside. But I do what I can to remember special, really personal things, like the fact that that his mother would read like revolutionary texts to other people working in the cigar factories. So those are the kinds of things that I kind of try to absorb and think about.
Hola, my name is Anna Shaya, and I'm very happy to be here today because I have no idea what Latinx identity is. So I can just tell you my story, and this made me think a lot. 3 words kept coming up for me: struggle, joy, and integration, as I thought about this. Because for me, in my life, everything seems very split apart and like it doesn't fit. My mom is from Puerto Rico. My dad's German-Irish from D.C. So summers were in La Isla. The rest of the year was in Maryland. Spanish was during the day. English was when Dad came home. With my Anglo cousins, I was that weird kid whose mom spoke to her in some secret language that nobody else knew. And in Puerto Rico, I was that weird kid with really bad Spanish that nobody quite understood. So I'm going to try and combine a bunch of the questions, and maybe it's because it's dinner time, but I want to talk about food. So your question, if I would be a food, I would be dulce de guayaba con galleta sultana, which is one of my favorite things in all time. But I remember the one time that I brought that, like my kid was in preschool, and I brought that as a snack because we were doing International Day. And everyone looked at me and went, Mexicans don't eat this? What is this? Why are there no tamales? And, and this sort of the stereotype that starts with food and then works its way out. And really kind of struggling to try to explain to people who are not part of culture.
In the sense of invisibility, it's real. It's real. And I remember being in Virginia was a little different because I was kind of the person to refer to as the Latina in the room, the only Latina in the room. And at least so people realize that, like that there is a Latina in the room. But coming to Georgia, it was kind of, no, the Latina is not there. So the sense of not counting as not even a person, that was striking and shocking to me. And I don't know, I mean, we're 3 states away from Virginia, so it's like, what happened there? But yeah, I think it's all related also to the context, as Audrey was saying, to the language. So what do you do with that instead of, just complaining or feeling sorry for yourself? You have to reach out. So reaching out is to find these other cultures that have some meaning and similarity to you, and beyond the language as well, because there's so many Latinos that do not speak Spanish. But just to have those conversations like we're having now creates not only community, but creates community.
We would like the everybody to know that just because the conversation right now is that the immigrant face is a Latino face, that is not true. That it is not just Latinos when we talk about immigrants. And that number 2, that not all Latinos are undocumented. And that they are, we know that there is a lot of emphasis right now on the undocumented, especially because of the political stuff that's going on with, the governor's race and the platforms that they have taken. But, we talk a lot about this integration. I can remember being a kid, and there was this thing called Schoolhouse Rock. I don't know if you remember that. And so they would talk about sort of like being in the melting pot, right? That everybody was going to come into America. We're all going to meld together, and we'd be this fictional American, okay? And a lot of that thought has changed to it being more like a salad bowl, meaning that we all add in our own unique flavors, and that makes America even richer, right? Instead of that, we're melting and losing our identity, we're all actually bringing in our identities to make America richer in that way. And that's what I hope that we can get to.
Que estamos orgullosos, que nos encanta nuestra comida, estamos orgullosos de nuestros bailes, de todo, de nuestros vestuarios, de nuestros bailables, de nuestra música, y queremos compartirla con todos. Queremos comenzar una idea de interculturalismo, no decir que esta cultura está bien o está mal, sino todas las culturas creo que tienen algo positivo, y eso es creo que lo importante que debemos enfocar. Nuestra comunidad no sienta pena de lo que somos, que se sientan orgullosos de lo que somos, que salgan y que muestren nuestra ropa, que muestren nuestra música, nuestra comida, y que no tengamos miedo de ser lo que somos. No importa si somos más morenitos, menos morenitos, somos seres humanos y debemos de sentirnos libres, expresarnos. Yo creo que eso es lo más importante.
When I think of Latino, I think of people that are from like Spanish-speaking countries, or that have like Spanish, like their heritage is from like Spanish-speaking countries in like Central or South America.
Personally and truthfully, I don't feel like I've been exposed too much about it or of it. Maybe I hear about the Hispanic organizations and things of that nature, but besides that, I haven't really come across any Hispanics, Latinos, or have communicated with them or know anything, or what they do on a day-to-day basis, truth be told.
I definitely think that there could be more included in our history classes about subjects that are not just white males, which is pretty typical, but also around campus. I know that there are events, and I think that maybe some of the classes and professors of UGA should maybe prioritize and push students going to the events so they are more educated about it, because I know personally I'm not, and I would like to be.
First thing that comes to mind is Latino, and when I think Latino, I think ethnicity. So I'm not really sure what Latinx as a word means, but I just think about the ethnicity and maybe the culture that it brings behind it and things of that nature.
So I think if someone approached me about stuff like immigration, or like immigrant students receiving education and scholarships, or being considered out-of-state students just because they're just because they came here in other ways, I think that it's important to talk about those issues, because if we don't, then there's never going to be a solution. And the more we talk about it, the more more awareness you raise, and so it's like the more people will come on board to supporting these type of issues.
I feel like UGA, like in UGA's perspective, that because they offer it, they fulfill that responsibility. But I do feel like it should be advertised more. That's what they should do as UGA as an organization, because obviously students have their own views and own opinions, so they can do whatever they want. But UGA should advertise it more so that more students know about the opportunity to learn. And that's really I feel like any university has to do is get these programs popping, get things shaking, but basically advertise opportunity, and then it's up to the students and how they feel to go out and actually seek that knowledge. You can't force knowledge upon someone that doesn't want to learn. That just brings about ill will.
I know that UGA itself has like their allows students to form the organizations, like the Hispanic Student Association, and I'm sure there's more. But I think that UGA itself should have, like classes or like seminars that are available where they have guest speakers come in and really talk about, and it's open for anyone, and they can talk about issues such as immigration and like education and the resources that these communities are provided. So in my opinion, I feel that UGA could do more to raise awareness of these certain issues that are really big and that affect a larger part of the student population, rather than kind of indirectly implying these through the associations that the students create. It would be better to have a direct, not something through a student association, but something through the university that says that, yes, we understand and acknowledge the troubles that a lot of our students go through, and we want a lot of the other students to know about it, and let's see what we can do to help these students, and like what can we do to make this campus more inclusive. Although inclusivity does exist, there's always room to improve and really make all of like the minority groups feel more at home.